Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today we're going to look at the latest car culture team transport mix with some bonus content on the AAR CUDA, the Dan Gurney All-American Racers Incorporated. We'll check out that one last, and I've got some other models we can take a look at to kind of compare it to. Not just Hot Wheels, by the way. And then, but yeah, latest mix of car culture. It's a car culture team transport. It's a pretty solid one, I will say. It's a good, solid mix this time around. There's not really a dud in the case, and I think these sets are pretty cool. So, and normally I'm not super stoked on team transport because I hate having to store the trucks. Although that's a topic for another episode, but I kind of came up with a solution for that, which I will share with you sometime in the future. But now that I've got that solution, I don't mind picking these up now. You know, kind of don't mind it now that I've got it figured out of how to store them. So pretty cool. And again, we'll get into that sometime in the future. But let's start with the 66 Chevelle and the 72 Chevy ramp truck. Very cool to get a licensed model for the actual truck. Quick look around the card. You guys are all familiar with Team Transport now. I don't know how many there have been that they've put out, but there's been quite a few. Well, if they're numbering them sequentially, which I've never paid attention to before just now, we're at number 64, and that's probably not including the Legends Tour ones, the Supreme one, whatever else. So, yeah, there you go. 64 of them. That's a lot. So, yeah, and I don't think there's any signs of them necessarily stopping with Team Transport. They seem to still sell quite well, and this set actually, yeah, I can imagine this set's flying off the pegs because it's pretty nice. It's pretty decent. So the first one we got, yeah, of course, the 66 Chevelle, 72 Chevy ramp truck. Pretty nifty. Just get it open. Take a close look at it. I'm going to get it out of the way right away. I'm probably going to complain about the graphics being dot matrix. I do it every single time, and some of you are probably sick of it. Yeah, maybe I should just get over it, because it ain't going to change anytime soon, if ever, and it is what it is, right? Let's actually take a look at the truck first. Not shy. Very funny. Yeah, because it's like a Chevy Cheyenne, not shy. Whatever. This has a metal base, of course, riveted together construction like all Hot Wheels. Made in Thailand, rubber tires. Of course, it's a Hot Wheels, so it rolls really nice. The cab of the truck is all metal, and then the ramp portion is, of course, plastic. But it looks really good. Very, very nice. We'll probably see this come out quite a few times in Team Transport in the future. I think this is the first, maybe the second release. I think maybe the second release of this ramp truck. Or maybe it is the first. No, it's the second, I think. I don't know. Somebody's going to correct me in the comments, so I did zero research, and I apologize about that. So then we got the Chevelle. This is kind of a cool casting. I can't remember where exactly this debuted, but I think it might have been in Vintage Racing. It's a copyright date of 2010, or maybe it came out before Vintage Racing, the Vintage Racing set. But it looks pretty nice. We got red, white, and blue, number 66 on there. South Bay Racing Fuel, Goodyear. Pretty cool. Mr. Gasket, whatever. Hurst. Rolls, of course, really nice. And, of course, it's metal on metal. Rubber tires. Steel wheels. It looks really cool. Rolls really smooth. We've got slicks on there. And overall, it's a nice set. This is a nice little set. I think this is pretty nifty. So I'm liking that one. Pretty neat. Let's go to the Fiat 131 Abarth and the second Story Lor. So this has got, it's got two levels, second Story Lor. This one appears to have an articulating part, which should be fun as well. The ramp truck doesn't, right? Like there's no, yeah, definitely not. Pretty cool looking set. It's got a nice kind of color combo, like a dark and kind of navy-ish blue and yellow. Number 62, if you're keeping track of the numbers. So let's go ahead and open this one up. I don't know, case quantity-wise, I'm not sure. These come, what, like 8 to a case or something like that? So inevitably, there's one of them's going to be more common than or two of them probably are more common than the others. One of them is going to be a little bit more rare, I think, or not necessarily rare, but less count per case. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. Maybe they come in 6s. I don't know. I've never bought a case of Team Transport, so I guess I'm not really sure. So it's got like this plastic bit that's for the other car. We're going to have to take down this one. So this is a plastic base on this one. It's actually very lightweight. The cab is metal. This piece is metal. This piece is metal. This top story is plastic. There we go. And then this is plastic. So interesting mix of materials there. The top ramp of this my particular example is a little bit warped. It's not quite straight. So I'm assuming, and it looks like it's got some stress from bending there. Not sure what that's about. Is this supposed to? No. So I think it just sits like this. If it was like a legit, like 2-story or like ramp truck, I think this bed would like come up and tilt. And I don't. No, it can't. There's no way. So it does not. So it's just you can store cars up here, but you can't like play and drive them up there because, yeah, in a truck that was supposedly like this, I think this was supposed to slide back and come down. This particular one does not. Yeah, overall, I think this is I thought this was a new one too, but it's a copyright date 2021. I don't know if that's just the base. I have no idea. I thought, did they come up with a second Story Lor before? I don't know. I just really haven't paid attention to the trucks all that much, and that's why. The copyright date kind of throws me because that's quite a long time ago. But yeah, car can go up in here. We've got the car itself. Looks pretty darn nice. I mean, you do have the dot matrix-y printing stuff. We know about that. Even the top, because it's not painted, has that look to it. That textured look, which is, it's not great, but I don't know. I guess I'm not really starting to get over it. I guess it's just car culture models. Whatever. They're not super expensive. When they do that on RLC models, that's where I really like. Ugh, why would you do that on a model that's like $30 or whatever? There's like no reason to do it that way. I don't think you should be doing it that way. I think you should come up with something else, something different that would work better. You know, maybe there's good reason. This doesn't really want to fit. You got to kind of force it to get in there. And then it can pull up all the way to there. Either way, it's pretty neat. The car is really cool. The truck is kind of cool. I don't know. Not really, like I said, I'm not really crazy about the trucks, but it is decent. All right, well, let's get to the main event, which is going to be probably the one that's really going to fly off the pegs, I would assume, and that is this Dan Gurney All-American Racers Incorporated AAR CUDA Plymouth. Oddly, they paired this car with a Sakura Sprinter, which is just a little weird. It's like a, Japanese style truck with this American car, which I thought was kind of odd that they would have done it with this. I get it that they had to do it with, a truck that's an enclosed trailer to get this big graphic on there. I just don't know why they chose this one in particular. They have another one that I thought might be better, but I think that's more of a European style. I don't know. You guys let me know. I mean, was this the right choice? Maybe not. The car's cool. So Plymouth AAR CUDA Sakura Sprinter. Let's open it up. I like vintage racing style, old advertising style. So this is kind of ticks the boxes for me. I do think it's pretty cool. However, I don't think they got the color quite right on the car, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. It looks a little weird. So we'll talk about the truck here first. The truck looks like more, the cab matches the color, but the box really doesn't. But we'll talk about that more in a minute. And I don't know what the real car, I can't tell you how accurate it is to the real car, but I can tell you how accurate it is to other cars that have come out in a second. There's the truck. We've seen this casting before, obviously. Metal base, metal cap, plastic box. It's got an opening back end that acts as a ramp for the car to head into the truck. So that in and of itself, pretty cool. Not bad. Decent. AAR in the front there. Pretty good graphics up front. Look pretty good. The graphics on the side, the printing on the side looks pretty decent. Again, you got that kind of dot matrixy thing, but it's not as awful when you have big, large printing, because just, the size of the print is larger. You don't see the pixelation as much. It doesn't stand out as much. So this looks pretty neat. The truck looks actually really good. So there's that, the truck. And then here's the car. Now the car, it's a Cuda. So this originally was released, I believe, in this pretty much exact deco or close to it. I don't have it in the Hot Wheels Vintage Racing set. And I was looking them up actually on eBay the other night just to check and see how much they were. And they're kind of expensive. And the older ones all have like an issue with the tampos on the one side where it was rubbing up against the card. So if I were ever to try to find one of these, I would look for the Vintage Racing one that came out back in the day. I would try to find it loose and make sure they had pictures of both sides, because I open everything, so I don't want to get one carded and then open it up and find the graphics are all screwed up on the one side. So, and when you look at them up on eBay, you can see that there's just a ton of them that have like messed up graphics on one side, and it's the side that was rubbing up against the card. So I don't know what the deal is with that, and I don't know if the Vintage Racing set is full of issues like that. I really don't know, because I think I only have like one or two cars, maybe three cars from that full set from back in the day. That set can be very expensive. The famous BRE Datsun 510 is in that set, and quite pricey indeed. But here is the car, and the car is cool. It's definitely cool. Now, aside from that Vintage Racing set where this car came out, they also put something out this was like a Hot Wheels like Milestones or something set back in the day. This tooling is a little bit weird. It is a Cuda. It has a plastic top because they also made a topless version of this. There was two different versions of this that came out. There was one that came out with plastic wheels, and then there's this one with rubber tires. And I can't remember the exact set it was in, but I picked this up. I don't remember where I got this from, but it's pretty neat. It's got Real Rider tires on it. It's older. This tooling, I don't even think has a date on the bottom, but it's definitely an older tooling. It definitely came up before the Vintage Racing one of this. So early 2000s, maybe. It's got a number 48 on the side. I don't know enough about the Dan Gurney thing to be able to tell you the difference between the 48 car, the 42, or anything like that. But these are clearly different vehicles. But I think the color is more right on this one. Maybe. Seems it might be. I'm not 100% sure. But we got the 48 car and the 42 car. And I just wanted to get this out just to kind of show you guys it. And one difference that you will notice is the graphics. It's got a thick clear coat on it, and the graphics are pretty darn sharp, and it's a different style of printing. So more of a tampo. So I thought that was interesting enough to share. So I decided to show that. The other thing I wanted to show, if you are looking for a good, what I thought was a great replica of this car or something that looks really good, where you'd really want to turn to it, believe it or not, is Greenlight. So I've got these right here. So this is their Cuda casting. Here's the number 42 car. Now the coloring is way different on these. It's like a metal flake. I don't know if this is accurate at all, but I know that these look pretty darn good. You get the plastic spoiler on there, the thing on the front, the splitter or whatever they call it. This is number 507. These were released, I think, from Acme. Was commissioned these to be made. They're Greenlight toolings. But these are really, really nice. Very, very cool Greenlight. So I've got the 42 car here, and then I've also got the 48, number 48 car right here. Now this one has a different, it's missing that hood graphic, which is interesting. And I don't know, like I said, I don't really know the history of these cars, so I can't comment on them intelligently in that regard. But I do think these look really good. These do not have the white rims, and I don't know if the real car did. I should have looked up real pictures of the real vehicle, but it does have that front end bit, which looks pretty cool. And, you know, maybe a little bit more detail on these than the other ones. I don't think these are terribly expensive if you want to try to find them. But this is a really cool Greenlight casting. So kind of nice to add, you know, these as a collection as a whole. Pretty darn nifty. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. What do you guys think about the Hot Wheels Team Transport line in general? What did you think about this set? I thought this was a pretty strong set. By the way, these things are awesome for storing loose cars, loose Greenlight in particular. We'll have a talk about that sometime as well. But these things, they work really good for storing vehicles. And I got something similar going on for storing these team transports, but that's a whole nother episode. But let me know what you guys think about these. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Team Transport, I think, is a little played out, but this set is really nice indeed. Of course, this one's probably the star of the show, but this truck is pretty sweet. Looks really good in blue. So this set's really good. The Fiat looks really good. This set's a pretty solid one, I would say. So this was a no-brainer to actually pick these up for me. So I'm glad to get it. And thanks to my buddy Jay, actually helped me out getting this one, because I originally couldn't find that one. I found the other two really easy, but not that one. All right. So thank you guys again for watching another episode. I really do appreciate it. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and come again, you know, next time. We're releasing lots of videos, so come check them out. Thank you. Bye.